representatives of businesses, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is my great pleasure to address today's conference on the future of telecommunications industry. I would first like to warmly congratulate the organizers for their excellent work and to express my sincere appreciation for their inviting me here today. This is a very timely topic in Serbia, and an especially relevant one for my embassy, in line with the strong Korean-Serbian cooperation in the telecommunications sector. Since 2011, as one of the world leading countries in this area, the Korean government has provided policy consultation to Serbian counterpart on key aspects of the telecommunications. In 2014, Korean government's findings and recommendations had been crucial to the successful auctioning of mobile broadband in Serbia. This year, an expert group from Korean Information Society, Development Institute, and Korea Telecom is once again providing an in-depth policy consultation on fixed broadband in Serbia. This group will come to finalize their work next week. The Korean Embassy is dedicated to furthering our partnership in such a mutually beneficial way in the future, and taking part in this session and exchanging ideas are all parts of these efforts. Ladies and gentlemen, today's telecommunication industry faces many challenges. On the surface, numbers paint a very rosy picture. To cite some numbers, by 2020, global telecom industry will grow to approximately 5.6 billion unique subscribers and to 5.8 billion smartphones. This means a higher number of mobile network connections and increased smartphone adoptions in the future. But as a popular saying goes, full moon can only wane. And there is some concern that the saturation of the market means new subscription is peaking. Operators are facing increasingly declining revenue stream. Moreover, applications such as WhatsApp, Viber, and Apple's iMessages, and in Korea, our homegrown application, KakaoTalk, are increasingly encroaching on the traditional profit model of telecommunications operators. One report cites that SMS messaging decreased by 30%, international phone calls by 20%, and roaming by 20%. This is concerning in an industry that is traditionally known to have a high ratio of capital investment to revenue. All of this asks the question, how will you stay profitable and in business? Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to share some points with you with regard to these daunting challenges by pointing to opportunities created by two vast transformations. First is the revolution in the telecommunications infrastructure, namely the development and the adoption of 5G network. 5G network aims at higher capacity, lower latency, multiple simultaneous connections in comparison to the current 4G network. Many countries are stepping up efforts to be the pioneer of the 5G network. In the United States, the Federal Communications Commission announced Spectrum Frontiers in July 2016 to identify, open up vast amounts of new high-band spectrum for next-generation wireless broadband. On the commercial side, AT&T and Verizon of the United States has announced 5G roadmap and is doing pilot tests to provide fixed mobile 5G services in 2018. In Europe, the European Commission has announced action plan for 5G for Europe in June 2017, this year, which was adopted by European Parliament. Recognizing that 5G network has the huge potential to unlock innovation and business, the action plan foresees pilot service in 2018, commercialization in 2020, and an activation of 5G-based digital ecosystem. In Korea, my country, the Ministry of Science and ICT announced in 2014 the industrial roadmap for future telecommunications, which aimed at an early adoption of 5G network. As you might know, Korea is hosting Winter Olympic Games just next February. ICT Olympics is one of its main mottos. KT, Korea Telecom, is rolling out 5G network around the Olympic stadiums right now and will be providing pilot services right during the Olympic Games. Building on this experience, we aim to be the first country in the world to commercialize 5G as soon as international technical standards are consolidated. Second, the more underlying forces of the fourth industrial revolution is going to create an explosion in the demand for data services, which could lead to more value-added business models for the telecom industry. We have heard for some years now, we stand on the brink of technological revolution, which will fundamentally alter economic and social paradigms. Artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, big data, clouding is expected to transform everything from agriculture to manufacturing to financial markets. As a linchpin of these disruptive technologies is hyperconnectivity, there is a huge potential for the telecommunications industry to capitalize. Let me give you a telling example. In 2016, all the eyes of the world were turned on Korea, where an epic battle between artificial intelligence, AlphaGo, and a master Korean Go player, Lee Se-dol, was taking place. The Asian traditional game of Go, with its endless possibilities, was conventionally seen to be beyond the reaches of artificial intelligence. But as we all know, the AlphaGo triumphed against the best human player of Go. How was this made possible? AlphaGo is a program that learned the strategies of Go from 30 million moves processed by 1,200 computers, all linked in a network. In other words, artificial intelligence is also derived partly from connectivity. Not only are computers going to be interconnected, but increasingly humans and devices too, through Internet of Things like wearables, connected cars, smart homes, and so on. For example, Smart City Initiative enables city officials to monitor different aspects related to infrastructure, public safety, and transportation from their devices and taking actions real time. In such a way, the fourth industrial revolution is going to create explosive growth in demand for data services, all of which means potential for new business model in telecommunications industry. Ladies and gentlemen, to conclude, it is clear that telecommunications will be the bedrock of massive transformation taking place in the near future. This means generation of new reinvention is in order for the telecom industry too, if it is not to be marginalized from the changes it helped to foster. So, the real challenge facing the industry today is whether it is ready and prepared for the next sea change. Can you capture users' demand for data services into profit? Is mobile banking, data centers, content generation the future business model? And in the quest for better margins, is net neutrality the final frontier? So as ambassador, not as a specialist, I'll stop just here only by throwing those kind of questions to you, rather than pretending to provide you with amateurish guess. So what remains to me is to wish you a very stimulating and fruitful discussion this evening. Thank you very much for your kind attention.